doctors that I was going to kind of took a look at it, and they were just, you'd physically see them react. Basically like, Mark, there's no easy way to tell you this. You've got cancer. The thing that I'll never forget is she said that, we've got you, we've got you. I went in the military at 18, joined the Navy in 1990, did 8 years on active duty as a hospital corpsman. My last duty station was a Navy hospital in Charleston, and I've spent the last 18, well, I guess it's almost 20 years now, working for Sarasota County Fire Department, currently a lieutenant there, paramedic, and love my job. I was getting ready to go into work a couple of years ago, and literally it was just an everyday. I felt great. I had no problems. I was shaving, and this side of my face was just normal, and I'm going through my normal morning routine, and I noticed that the right side of my neck was not the same when I was shaving. It was my first indication that anything was wrong. I called my general physician, and she ordered a CT scan and had it done like that day, right, immediately. I basically had a massive, tumor in the side of my throat or my neck, and I kind of made a circuit between 2 or 3 different doctors down in my area, and was kind of getting kicked around. I can't handle that. The final one that I went to, after telling me that he couldn't help me, I was like, Doc, where do I go? And he thought on that for a few minutes, and he said, if I were you, Moffitt has an incredible head and neck clinic. Whether this is cancer or not, they're gonna be able to take care of you. I got up there right away and sat down with Dr. McMullen, and that's when the real fun started, I guess. Next thing you know, I've got a camera going up my nose, and immediately she was like, I can tell you right now, Mark, we have to wait on the biopsies to be 100% certain, but you have throat cancer, and I can tell you right now that it's almost certainly from HPV. And I'm like, HPV? That's something I've seen commercials for vaccines, but never really thought about it a whole lot. I'm like, what does that mean? And she said, basically, it means you've been walking around with HPV for the last 25 to 30 years. It colonized in the back of your throat. Your body didn't know how to get rid of it, like most people do. And now it's metastasized most likely into a lymph node in your neck. And my wife, immediately, it's waterworks going on and everything else. And yeah, it's tough and it's emotional, and it was all a lot to take on. Your mind's just going a million miles a minute, thinking about possibilities, outcomes. I've got 2 kids, and am I gonna ever meet my grandkids and all that? And she said that the type of cancer you have, the HPV throat cancer, it's super treatable. They have a wonderful success rate. I think it was north of 85, 90%. There's always the other side of that coin, though. She said that along with that wonderful success rate, it's also one of the more difficult treatments to endure, because we're gonna have to basically, burn the back of your neck out with radiation to get rid of this. There's people with a lot more difficult stories than mine, but when you can't talk, you can't swallow, you can't eat, it's hard to breathe. That's every day. The first 3 or 4 weeks were certainly very tolerable. I drove myself, back and forth from home. It was 80 miles one way, just for a 15-minute radiation appointment. And those folks in radiation were top notch. That place runs like a well-oiled machine. They were wonderful, and they knew you by name after a week or 2, but then it starts to really catch up with you. It was tough being away from the job. Firefighting, being in the military, police work, it's a brotherhood, it's a fraternity. It's more than just a job. It's something that you live. Even though it was a tough path to endure, I'm like, I got this. If they say I've got this, I've got this. And it was tough. There was, days, weeks where I really didn't eat, could barely drink any fluids, and they wanted to put a feeding tube in. I kind of turned that down. I was like, hey, this is my diet plan. I'm good. I think that my time in uniform, gave me the strength. It certainly gave me a support system, and I think that's as important as anything. I knew that I wasn't taking this on alone. Just like the Bucs, they're a team, we're a team. I was never alone.
Hey, how you doing, Lieutenant Mark?
Good, sir.
How are you?
Nice to meet you, man. You know, I just came to drop off a little gift for you.
Look at this.
Autographed football.
The number 35.
You know, we just want to show our support on that. What you've been through, you overcame many adversities. You know, you got our utmost respect because a lot of people will give up, but you never gave up. You fought through it.
I can't stress enough how much Dr. McMullen, the words just still resonate with me. I mean, she said, Mark, we've got this. You're going to get through this.